How much can you make selling your images as stock photography? Hi, I'm Jason Yoder, and in today's episode, I will help you answer that question. I am fortunate enough to be able to travel the world, and on this channel, I share with you the photography that I capture while exploring. Stock photography is just one of the ways that I pay for this travel. Before I start giving away the numbers, make sure you subscribe to my channel and check out patreon.com/EWJ for my bonus content. Also, stay tuned to the end. I'll let you know how long it took to make $1,000 on Adobe stock. Let's take a look at the images that sold for the first time. ShutterStock starts this month's first sale of images with a 10-cent sale. This is a Ukrainian Orthodox church I found in Krydor, Canada, while on my way to photograph the crooked bush. This is just one of the many roadside gems that you can find when you leave the beaten path. This is a lot of won. I photographed this in my hotel room in Vancouver, Canada. I flew in and exchanged out my currency for South Korean won before making my flight the next day to South Korea. I decided to do a little stock photography now that I was rich. As a matter of fact, 2 of my images sold for 17 cents on Deposit Photos from that photo shoot. Here's another 17-cent image sale from Deposit Photos. This is from Coupeville, Washington. Coupeville is a really nice little village on Whidbey Island that is also a bit photogenic. Besides the little places to eat and wine tasting, I managed to capture a few good images from this location. Arizona does not disappoint when it comes to photographing at the fringes of daylight. We often get fiery sunsets. For the best sunsets in Arizona, look in the winter or during the summer monsoons. This is a sunset at Ruby Beach in Olympic National Park. One of my goals while in the Pacific Northwest earlier this year was to shoot a sunset with rocks in the water. Also, one of my goals was to spend time camping in Olympic National Park. Check out my extra long episode from the park that aired on May 30th, 2021. For those of you who want to know what it's like being on a photo shoot with me, this episode is by far the most immersive experience that I've ever filmed. This may look like the same image as before. True, it is the same location and shot within seconds of the previous image from Coupeville, Washington. This version from Dreamstime earned me 38 cents. Once again, another shot from the Swiss Alps of Idaho. This was a cool afternoon drive south on US 93. It was really hard to make progress with so much landscape to photograph. This handheld panorama invokes a sense of exploration and adventure that is buried deep into the soul of every human. I took this image on a trip with my dad to see Hoover Dam. While Dad was still fast asleep, I drove out to a lookout in the Lake Mead National Recreation Area in the dark of night. Little did I know that I was surrounded by power lines. I took advantage of the situation to capture some stock images for the power industry. This one I cooled the morning colors down quite a bit and darkened the land in the foreground to make the transmission tower stand out. My images from Whidbey Island continue to make their first sales. These are some dry rocks on the beach. Just a few feet away, I took this. Same beach, just with rocks that are wet from the waves. I prefer the images of wet rocks over the dry ones. My images from Idaho continue to make their first sales. This morning panorama was as much fun to take as it is inspiring. I love the road off to the left that is just calling you to explore. The previous evening, I captured this. This is not what I imagined for Idaho, and I did not care. This entire area was just one immense landscape photographer's dream. A little closer to home, this is a sunrise over the Sonoran Desert. Take a good look at the mountains furthest in the distance. That is the Four Peaks. At over 7,600 feet, they are visible from a large part of the state, and they grace the Arizona license plate. The dust in the air captures the golden light of the rising sun. Yes, this is fog in the desert. In the winter, we can have some very dramatic weather, including the very rare fog. Here you can see the saguaro cactus, the sentinel of the Sonoran Desert, shrouded in mist. Here are my top-selling images from this past month. I'll include a link in the description for the episode that each of these images came from. My top-selling image from Big Stock Photo comes from my journey home after being gone all winter. This is from an area known as the Swiss Alps of Idaho. I love the brilliant blue sky over the snow-dusted mountain. Dreamstime paid me $2.20 for this image of the Deception Pass Bridge spanning Anacortes and Whidbey Island. This is from my episode on how I take my handheld panoramas. This is from early spring when the weather was just turning nice and gave me a welcome sunny day for photography. Dreamstime actually had two images that tied for the top seller. This is from my episode from Olympic National Park. This panorama of the snow-capped Olympic Mountains was captured from the deck of a moving ferry boat. This was the start of a camping weekend and a well-deserved trip to see some new landscapes. Definitely check out this episode. My images of the U.S. Capitol continue to be my top-selling images on several different platforms. This image sold for $4.94 on Adobe Stock. I love this morning image of the U.S. Capitol. I was able to get the warm glow of the rising sun while the lights inside the Capitol building were still turned on. ShutterStock brought in the big selling image this month. This is a photo shoot in Sedona, Arizona. Yes, there's more than red rocks in Sedona. This is along Oak Creek just north of the city. Arizona does have a fall season. Capturing the light about an hour before the golden hour starts allows the sunlight to have a stronger reflection off of water. With the long shadows of the trees cast over the creek diminishing the glare, the colors of the sunlight passing through the leaves can be seen in the water. So, how long did it take to make my last $1,000 on Adobe Stock? 481 days. I currently have 5,053 images for sale on Adobe. Also, I've jumped to a new level on ShutterStock. This means that my commission rate will rise to 30%. The downside is that it also depends on the subscription level of the buyer, so I'm expecting to continue to see more of those 10-cent sales that I would prefer not to see. Sunday, our tour of Rome will continue with a photo walk through an enclave of the city called Trastevere. Until then, please open your hearts and homes to a shelter animal need, and if you can't, please donate to a local animal shelter.